So guys, today we're gonna talk a little bit about Datamines and all the things found in the files. Thank you Gszabi for doing this. I will leave a link in the description for you to help him out on Coffee, and of course join the Discord where he posts all the things down in the description with the link. Okay guys, so let's get to it. The first thing is basically just infantry stuff. Yes, infantry stuff is already in the files of the game. We can already cannot properly see them, but they are there. So guns, and, UAVs, FPV UAVs, right? So overall, guys, we are getting readier and readier for the actual infantry edition, right? Since they said that only after the actual edition of the game, the proper release of the update, I would assume that for now we're not gonna see these in the dev server, but let's wait and see. Probably tomorrow we already will see some of the first, updates on the dev server. Then we go for the proper normal things, guys. The first thing, I already mentioned this in another video, but I'm gonna put it here as well. The Tyran 6, which is the T-62 modified by the Israelis, captured and modified, right? It is now on a fold with the Shotcal Gimel over here, with the addition of the Merkava 1, which is the one at 9.3 with the heads round. So the normal heads round. So yeah, Tyran 6 is now in a fold here. And I already showed this a little bit in another video, but I really wanted to show again, guys. Here is the list of vehicles that will be randomly chosen when you are getting into some of the matches, when you are, in a higher BR than 9.3, and you get the vehicles because you have a low number of vehicles for you to spawn in. This is the effort of Gaijin trying to implement basically a longer period of time when you are inside a match. So you can see here, I spawn in with just the AA, but they gave me some tanks for me to spawn in. Might not be the best tanks ever, but it's something at least for me to spawn in, right? The cool part is that it does have an ace qualification, which is pretty interesting. So another change is that they actually added combat flaps, as you can see, to the F4J, the British and American ones. Which means that, yeah, you will be able to actually be able to turn a little bit more when using them, I would assume, right? The funny part is that I don't see any differences on the actual model. So it might not be ready yet, but they did add that, and it is in the file. So we're going to have to wait to see what that means exactly. I don't see any changes, though. Like, can you see it? I'm changing between them. The flaps don't change, and the... I don't think this thing has slats, right? I don't know. So maybe we'll turn a little bit more. Maybe not. I don't know, but it is in the files. And then on the TA-154 over here, they removed the actual combat flaps, which is pretty interesting. Another change is that on the SU-7s, basically all the SU-7s, right? They got new fuel tanks. So if you go to any SU-7 now, you'll see that it has external fuel tanks. It goes together with some of the bombs, so for air to ground it's not really good, and not even, it doesn't even, you don't even need them, right? But in an air battle, if you want to fly a little bit longer, you might be able to utilize them. And then the RE-2005 VDM, guys. This thing actually got a water injection now, so it is producing a little bit more power. And it is going to be a little bit faster, overall, just a better aircraft, okay? So the buff that a lot of people were asking for on this aircraft actually got added. This is the Battle Pass RE-2005 that has the new propeller, right? So yeah, the Daimler-Benz engine actually got a new water injection, which makes it a little bit stronger on the WEP, and it means that you can do some more stuff. So, very good. An interesting thing happened to the Golden Eagle. So, now the sniper pod that it's here, it has two thermal systems. One that it's worse and one that's better. So, they added a worse one, as you can see, like a first gen one. And then it has the normal, second gen one. So, you can cycle between them, which is very funny to have. Look at this. You have the first gen, second gen, and then with no. So, I don't know what is going on here with the sniper pod, but... yeah, on the Golden Eagle, we have this little thing. They probably gotta fix it, but it is funny that they added this. Also, another change is in the Eurofighter for the Italians and the British. They actually improved a little bit of the quality of the building thermal system, right? So these aircraft have the IRST, I think it is used, right? I think it's the IRST that uses like this. And now the quality is a little bit better, so like a second gen almost, right? So yeah, or this second gen and the other one was a third gen, but you get the point. So now it is a little bit better with the thermal building system. So there was some changes to the HUD of the J10A and many other changes, guys, that by the way I already showed them if they were official changes, right? These are Datamines, so it changes up a little bit. Some of the stuff is not showed on the official thing, so this is just the Datamines, right? But still, it is good to say. And of course, another thing that I just wanted to talk about, any type of nuclear bomber actually got the EFS as well. Most of them, at least, right? So I think all of them, but there's a big list there, so I don't know if there's literally every single one of them, but most of them got the extinguisher of fires, which is pretty great. Another thing that it's very weird that it is in the Datamines is that the IRCM that the Apache Guardians got before it was just the American, I already did a video about. It is kind of funny. It is a copy paste basically from the other one, but apparently the IRCM module was added in kind of a way that you have to use it as a weapon or something. So in the Chinese one, let me actually check. Which actually makes kind of sense, because if not, let me check. So it is not here, which is funny. So because if you do use your payload over here with the stingers, it will remove it, right? But if you use a normal one, it will add it. So that's why I think it is, but just to let you know, right? Remember, if you use the stingers, you will lose the DIRCM, the directional or directed IRCM of the Apache Guardian of the Chinese tech. There was another change that I didn't mention in the other video. The SU-11 and SU-9, the older ones here, they actually got less ammo on the 37mm. It was 40 rounds, now it is 30, okay? So kind of a nerf for this vehicle. And then, guys, we have a big change on radars, I think. So I think it's more when it's tracking, right? In this case, it matters more for this, actually. But basically all radars, so I'm talking about the F-15Cs, Golden Eagle, F-16s, APG-66, all of them, 67, the APG-69 of the F-5 Swiss, right? The Kafir, the Su-30s, BARs, the N019 of the MiG-29, the Mirages, Rafales, J-10s. I mean, the list goes on. Basically, almost all radars that are a little bit more modern there received a new file, not a new file, but a change on a file that basically means that the speed gate, where it is actually, the radar is actually looking for the target, it got basically lower the speed, which means it is going to be less likely for you to probably lose a lock, I would imagine, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on the Discord and in the comments, right? Because I don't know anything about this, but from what I understood, it's something along those lines. So it's going to be filtering a little bit more heavily there, where it's actually looking the speed difference, which means that it's going to be harder for it to actually see maybe even chaff, but missiles and other things, especially other aircraft that are flying around near it, which means that it will be able to maintain a more solid lock. That's what I can draw from this. Again, guys, I might be completely wrong, so make sure to let me know in the comments and join the Discord and let me know there if I'm getting this wrong. But this is the feeling that I had, with the understanding that I had with these radars. So most of the radars will be a little bit better, according to these leaks. Again, guys, just to mention, if you already saw the other videos, you will know this, but anyway, the M1A2 SEP V2 here on the US got the ROSI system. So it has now a laser warning system together with 30 smoke grenades, which is pretty amazing, right? Remember, guys, these smoke grenades, of course, in real life, they are automatic, but in the game, it is not, okay? So, guys, now we need to talk a little bit about the damage of certain rounds. They are completely reworking, even air, like air cannons, but even some older ones that I just need to show to you guys. So we have a massive change over here that makes it up to be I didn't understand exactly what they said. That's why it's all great to have these data mines, because it's kind of hard to actually understand sometimes what they're saying on the official things. But for example, guys, HESH, but this is for HE, HEVTF, heat FS, heat normal heat, hash, and many other types of rounds. Basically, they're changing three things for the majority of them. The amount and penetration modifiers are increased with them, like with the HE part, if I'm not mistaken. The damage modifiers are reduced, so it's going to do less damage. And at the same time, the radius modifiers are reworked. In some angles are increased, reduced at others depending on the round. And overall, the angles themselves are reworked. Now the majority of the sharpness goes to the side. What does that mean? Well, you can see right here very easily. Something like an HE or a heat will now do more sharpnel, but less damage. Which means that something like, for example, if you shoot a cupola of a tank like this, it might not actually kill the tank anymore with the HE damage. Which is great to hear because, I mean, not even the target here, because it was absorbed by the gun and the thing there. But you get the point, right? So it is a pretty interesting thing, guys, because it makes it up to be a little bit more realistic, I think, the round, the way that it works. As you can see, certain rounds will still destroy the target. And even some HE, let me bring like a Russian 100mm, where is the T-55 HE over here, just to check it out. OF. So let's see. As you can see, some of these rounds, I mean, they cannot penetrate, right? But overall, guys, you will see that these rounds, they are going to be it feels like they're doing less damage. You know, let's see an AP if it changes anything. If it just destroys everything. Still, it's a lot, but it's not killing the tank, which is something that I noticed a lot of people noticing on Reddit and stuff, right? You will see that a lot of these rounds, they will not kill the tank anymore in a cupola or something, right? So I think it's a good change, but let's wait to see more detailed information on it. Because overall, I think it was very easy to kill a tank with the cupola shots and stuff like that. So maybe this will help. And again, guys, this is not only for tank rounds. This is for aircraft rounds. I think they're changing some of the stuff as well there. But especially for tank rounds, right? So pretty interesting, I guess, for us to actually see. So it will be more spread around. You can see more overall like fragmentation, but less damage. So when it hits something, it does less damage. You will see a lot of yellow, red, stuff like that happening. So pretty interesting, pretty interesting. And now, guys, apparently they added or enabled the kinetic penetration of HESH rounds. So for example here, 8mm, it's very low, but if it is a very low armor thing, it might be able to penetrate and explode inside the tank, basically, because it will actually penetrate just with the kinetic energy of the round itself, right? So maybe, I don't know, like, for example, no, but this is like 25, I don't know, like, this is, for a normal tank, like 8mm is, yeah. So I don't know how effective that would be for HESH, like, rounds, but it is still pretty interesting. I mean, the biggest one over here would be for the, let me check, the shifting maybe, or not even that. Like, for example, the FV4 4005, right? Let's see, this would be for the, where's the FV? Because this thing has a 183mm, right? So let's see. It's yet again 8mm, so not a lot, right? But it is still enabled. Also, guys, there is a new game mode that it's appearing. A new mission or something like that for kind of, it doesn't have a name yet, but it would be something of a carrier battle, right? So maybe it will have some form of naval anti-ship kind of situation, or even, you know, for World War II. I don't know. I have a feeling that they might actually use this for a test play of trying to use anti-ship missiles to destroy carriers or something for the new aerial warfare mode, I think it's called, right? So it is in the files, but it doesn't have a proper name yet. So let's wait to see. They added Infantry test drive as a mission, but we can not test that yet. And also Infantry domination and Granitograd, basically the infantry mode that it's actually in the files already as well. So more stuff that it's getting readier and readier for new modes. Another thing that they showed on the stream, guys, but it isn't here. If you actually take a look, it isn't here, right? If you go to the protection analysis over here, it's not here for us to actually test that out. But basically, there is a new shell comparison text, you know. Again, I couldn't make it work right now. I don't think it's like ready. We'll probably see it like tomorrow or during the week. So there is files for that, for us to actually calculate basically a stat chart inside the game for shells, missiles, stuff like that. They already talked about that. But yeah, pretty cool to actually have it. Another interesting thing, guys, is that in the files we have the PL-15. I already mentioned this in another video, but just to mention again, guys, it is there. It is a copy-paste, if I'm not mistaken, of the PL-12 or something like that. It's not ready. Doesn't mean it's coming. But it is interesting that the PL-15 is being considered or even being worked on to be added. Of course, if added, it would be added to the J-10C and some other aircraft, probably just the J-10C for now. But I'm pretty sure it's just too strong for now. Unless they cap a little bit of the performance, it would be way too strong for it. But yeah, PL-15 in the file. And that's it for now, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Gszabi, for doing these Datamines. You can help him out on the links in the description. See you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, join the Discord. And yeah, see you guys. Bye.